Motion controls have been part of the video game landscape for many years, and new innovations seem to be popping up every other week. The latest of which is Tobii Tech's new eye tracking technology, which is going to be supported by the PC version of Assassin's Creed Rogue. I'm about to try it out, and walking me through it will be President of Tobii Tech, Oscar Werner. After being shown the ropes, I sat down with a short slice of gameplay from Ubisoft's adventure game. Players still use a controller to interact with the world and to determine their forward momentum, but the direction in which they move or where the camera is pointing, if you are still, is decided by where they look on screen. The closer to the edge of the screen you look, the faster the camera pans, and it can all be overridden by the classic analog stick method, with no interruption to the gameplay. At first I was very conscious of where I was looking, but it quickly became a natural extension of what I was doing in the game. A second demo used PC title Sons of Nor to show me an alternative use of the technology. Here I used my eyes to aim while moving with WASD and controlling the camera with the mouse. The outcome is not too dissimilar to a twin-stick shooter. After the demo, I spoke to Tobii Tech President Oscar Werner.
This is the world's first gaming eye track, and it's been on the market for 2 months. It's launched at $200, 200 euros. Initially, very deliberately targeted as an early adopter product. And as we see volumes grow and more slow working, prices will most likely go down. What eye tracking is, and one of the biggest benefits is, it is an additional way to communicate between the player and the game. So what you do is basically you have your hand on the keyboard, on the mouse, or on your controller, and you add 2 features. You add another pointer, of which you only have one, you only have the mouse, and you add a way for the game to understand what the player is interested in. But you don't take anything away. So you can compare it, for example, with gestures, where if you would want to do gestures in a game, you've got to let go of the hands of the keyboards and the mouse and then do gestures instead. That is not the case with eye tracking. You can play the game just as you did, you just add another pointer. So it's in combination with other things, it's not in relative to other things. If a game understands what the user is interested in, then it can do very, very powerful immersion features like eye contact. I look at you, you nod now. You wouldn't do that if I didn't look at you. If I look over here, that person would smile. Well, games don't act that way. So characters in games can suddenly come to life. That's one type of feature. Then you have what we call, what Assassin's Creed has implemented, it's the infinite screen or auto pan. So you don't have to use your mouse or your controller to pan. So suddenly you just look around and pan, which gives you a very immersive feeling because it feels like you're in the game. Then you have other feature which we call multi-directional movement, which is, for example, implemented in the game called Son of Nor, available on Steam. And that is, since you give another pointer to the game developer, you can run in one direction and aim in another, which is very powerful in games. Today, in games, you can only interact with all the objects straight ahead of you. But now you can suddenly, I can run straight ahead and I can throw a hand grenade to the left. So it's again, you don't have to change the way you play the game, you only add. And what that is, it's a very normal or human form of interaction. If you know where you look, you can create a lot of effects around that. If I want to create a scary scene and I look at the left of the screen, something would come in from the right. If I look at a set of people, I would hear that conversation more strongly, etc. So you can do a lot of things with the graphics and the sound, given that you know where a person is looking. I'm playing a game, I want to post on a social media at the same time, I can just look in there and I can post with my eyes. So it's a very wide array of benefits that comes with, 1, giving an additional pointer, and 2, knowing what the player is looking at or what the player is interested in.